Beijing this month welcomes the Year of the Snake. Ancient Chinese wisdom sees a snake as a good omen, and no doubt there'll be many back in London hoping that it proves a good omen for Chinese investment in the capital. A flood of Chinese money has long been talked about, but so far it's only been a trickle. Could this be about to change?
Over the last few years, a lot of Chinese companies, not just domestic private companies, SOEs, even at the state level, at the country level, they have been accumulating a lot of capital, profits, and so pressure has been somewhat building up to kind of like put this capital to useful deployment. That is part of the push factor, and of course, like global financial crisis coming around, kind of like send some overseas markets into correction. So again, that's a pull factor in the sense that you could be going in at a good time in the cycle, right? So these factors put together created a very conducive case for Chinese capital to be deployed overseas.
In the commercial sectors, in China, for example, the office markets, normally the leasing period is 3 years. But in London, we see some of the cases is like 10 years, maybe some 20 years, so quite stable. So basically, if some kind of the sovereign money or some insurance money is quite fit into the period of the money's holding, so it's much safer compared to in China as well. So one is yield, one is safe.
Rules have recently changed which make it easier for Chinese insurance companies to invest capital abroad. The potential is huge. Even with caps of 15% of the company's total assets, experts estimate a potential spending power to the tune of 90 billion. However, Jones Lang LaSalle said there are still barriers for Chinese investors to overcome.
There are 3 government entities that needs to, Chinese companies need to seek approval from. That's SAFE, Commission of Commerce, and the Commission of Reform, Development and Reform. This process usually takes between 4 to 5 months, and we've seen that because of the long period of approval being sought, that Chinese firms are missing out on property deals that require a quicker transaction time. We also see other challenges which include understanding the market. People have been researching, or companies have been researching on the market, but haven't really taken the step to really go in and invest, because they're still trying to understand more about the general market, where the trend is in the cycle. The third challenge that we see is the team that needs to be established on the ground, that needs to manage the property, needs to take on the day-to-day operations. So these are the 3 main challenges that we think that the Chinese companies are facing going into London.
Stacey Meadwell for Estates Gazette.